All right, here we
Start
are.
going.
We're live. Let's keep it warm for winter.
Beautiful curls on a beautiful girl.
Blondes have more fun.
No, brunettes do.
So we're going to do, before we get some questions rolling, we're going to do a quick giveaway for our friends from Cask here. As you've seen, Natasha rocking some helmets. This is a pink Proton, genuine Australian delivered, Australian standards approved. And we have one to give away. So size medium is a size pink. And if you do want one of these, want it because you want to wear it, not because you want to sell it on eBay. But if you do want one of these, we're giving away one. We just did a giveaway on Natasha's channel. If you type in, not in the live chat, but in the comments under the video after the video is done, your first name and where you are from. So if you're from Nantucket, your name's Ken, say, hey, Ken from Nantucket, saying g'day. And we'll pick a lucky winner. So let's go on with some questions. We've got a question before about where are the high-fat athletes who are doing well on a keto diet? There is none. It's physiologically impossible to do well on a high-fat diet.
And if they say they high-fat, low-carb, they're lying.
Yeah, there's people out there who lie about it. But then there's people out there, I'll use some real examples. I've done many videos about them. And Zach Bitter and Timothy Olsen in the running scene. But if you ask these guys in person or message them, they'll say, yeah, I eat a lot of carbohydrate. I am sponsored by sports sugar, refined sugar companies, blah, 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 blah. I do drink Coke, I do drink Mountain Dew, and eating all these, these carbohydrate foods, which you've got to do if you want to perform. If you want to have a good mood, otherwise you're going to go into ketosis. Your muscle glycogen is going to go deficient. You're going to be deficient in glucose. You're going to have glucose deficiency, glucose deficiency fatigue, and your performance is going to go, it's going to tank. Doesn't matter what drug. You can use all the drugs in the world. Look at Lance Armstrong on stage 14, Tour de France 2000, and he bonked. He ran out of sugars, and he just lost so much time. Almost lost the Tour de France. All that drugs, all that training, all that dedication, all those risks, everything, and just a simple sugar deficiency, whoosh, almost wiped it all out. Just 10 cents worth of sugar could have saved him like that day. Luckily, he regained time, and he learned his lesson. So yeah. Another question I got was, what was the question? Oh, so many questions. It's always the same questions.
There's so many.
We're doing the Mawson Trail this week.
Yeah, we've got someone here. I would love to come backpacking, but I'm locked down in Melbourne.
Oh. Why? I do not know why people live in Melbourne. I was talking to Jesse Carlson this year about something, dude, him and Sarah came to Adelaide, and it's so good here. I don't know why they went back. I don't know. Why would you want to live in Victoria, especially Melbourne? I mean, there's some parts of Victoria very pretty, but Melbourne, man, if you paid me $100,000 a year, I wouldn't live in Melbourne. Maybe I'd vlog it or something, show how crap it is. I just couldn't live in Melbourne, man. Seriously, I couldn't do it. Hypothetically, if you say to Harley, here's $100,000, you can't YouTube, but you have to live in Melbourne for the next year, you can't vlog it or whatever, you just got to stay silent for a year, live in Melbourne for $100,000. I'm like, not doing it, can't do it. No. Quality of life is too low in Melbourne. The quality of life in Melbourne for me is too low. Done.
I've never been to Melbourne.
Good for weekends, just shopping around.
But I don't have a desire to go.
The vegan cafes are great in Melbourne.
I'm sure they are.
The commuting's really good, but
sure.
There's not enough nature. I need nature on a weekly basis.
So
it's accessible. 10 minutes on my bike, I'm in the Foot North Summit in nature. Questions?
How do you deal with boredom? So
do what you want to do. Okay, you start.
Oh yeah, I'll start with some points and you can feel free to butt in any time. How to deal with boredom? If you have a passion in life and a purpose, you will never ever be bored, because our job is never done. There's so many things to do at all hours of the day. When was the last time you were bored? When you were a teenager?
Yeah, when I was a teenager. And then I was just like, what is boredom? What is boredom? Boredom's just like not having any purpose.
I think boredom is you not being productive.
It's always something to do. For me, it's more, I'm overwhelmed of what do I start on? What do I finish this bike project, this video, this book? It's like,
oh shit, what should I do next?
Yeah.
What's the best use of my time right now, and what is the order of importance on who I need to get back to, what needs to get done based on what you've got going on in the near future.
Yeah, so boredom doesn't exist in my reality.
Yeah, I haven't felt bored for many years. I am an only child, and I was raised by my grandma, and I always had to entertain myself because I was taken to all of the adult gatherings and the adult parties. They gave me a book with some pens, textures and pencils, and I had to entertain myself. And then they gave me a scarf as a blanket, and I'd go to sleep on the chairs. So I've had to deal with that my whole life.
Independence.
Which helped me, I'd say.
Be more independent.
I'm very independent. I was doing a lot of things for myself from a young age, and
Jump on the train and
yeah,
traveling around by yourself.
That's it.
Getting to school by yourself.
Yeah. So.
Did you have to make your way to school by yourself?
In primary school, I got picked up and dropped off because it worked with my grandma who did the swimming teaching.
Yeah.
She started at 3:30 p.m. and I finished school at 3. Primary school was only a couple k's from home, so she could pick me up. But as soon as I went into year 7, it was buses, trains, and light rail.
By yourself?
By myself.
Oh, well. So I think that's a great independence thing to learn early in life. It's very important to have independence early. It gives you more security, self-awareness.
So I feel like if you've got a lot of appreciation for the moment, like you won't feel bored.
This is always something to give
if you're
to.
feeling bored, like go outside,
pick up rubbish,
go in nature, pick up rubbish, spend
help
time
some
with animals.
Help some elderly people. Like, there's always something to help.
I mean, if you're feeling bored, like why aren't you out on your bike? Go out.
Yeah, do something productive, or have some rest. You know, it's okay to just chill out and rest.
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
Yeah, heaps. Do you truly think caffeine affects mood so drastically in a negative way? Yes.
100%.
I've seen it in my family members. I've seen it in my immediate family. I've seen it in friends.
Seen it in me. If I have too much of that vegan chocolate ice cream.
Oh fuck! I don't want to see that again.
Same vice versa in you. Like vice versa in you. It's like.
Have you seen Deep Caffeine Blues with me? Well, I guess I don't.
Yeah.
With the Milo.
The vegan Milo.
Yeah, I had the vegan Milo a few days in a row in my banana sugar smoothies, and then after that I was crying.
That actually sound really like. It's true though, but you know, people just don't admit it. You know, there's so much depression and anxiety in the world. It says the vegan Milo we bought ages ago.
You bought this how many months ago?
Starts in the top bit there.
So that's about
6 months ago, maybe. I don't know.
This is about 75% full. Did you say? It smells good, but it's bitter as fuck.
Yeah, it's not enough sugar. Too much cacao. So this anxiety food. I'm going to tip it in the park when I get around to it. Spread it around for the ants, just like shake it around for the ants.
It's not helping us.
Yeah, so it
mood.
depends on the person. Like some people are a bit more caffeine resistant, but if you're finding yourself you have anxiety or depression or motivation issues, cut out the caffeine, and then your motivation will go up.
Well, for me, I find it different having like chocolate or bubble tea, for example. I don't get next day blues with if I have a bubble tea.
It's a very small amount.
But yeah, it is because it's very sweet as well. Yeah. I never do like stims without sugar.
Yeah. But you never do stims every day. Well, you never do every week.
I don't even do them every week.
Or even every month.
Even every month.
So that's so when you do have a bit of caffeine, etc.
I definitely feel it. Yeah.
Less is more.
But, you know, it's you said before. You said you were crying, but it's true. Like.
Feel more blue.
I felt blue. I felt down, and it took me like 24 hours and rest to get back to my normal self.
Stimulants will kill your motivation long term. Like you might have motivation for the day, the next day you have less. So you have to take more stims and then more and then more. And I see it in cycling. People do really good for like a week or a few weeks or a month. Or they maybe do like across Australia really fast or whatever, and then they just had to take so much stims, it just kills them for a few months. Their adrenal glands are just like bam.
They have cooked their serotonin and dopamine production.
Yeah. So there's a place for stims, but you gotta always factor in the recovery period. Right? So I'm not against people using stims and doing a big race or whatever marathon. No, not at all. It's not an issue with that, but just factor in that you will need to recover from that. So make sure if you're going to use them that it's worthwhile using them. Yeah, and try and get away with less. Less is more. Less is more. If you have more sugar with your caffeine, you'll need less caffeine, which means you'll have better adrenal health.
That's right.
The adrenals run on sugar, not caffeine.
In America, people are so dramatically stressed and unhappy. Why do you think this is?
Fear of sugar. Addicted to consumer mainstream media and lifestyles. They've got maybe a 2014 Lexus, and then a 2020 Lexus. So your Lexus is 6 years old, bro. You're flossing not as good. Yeah. So I'd say that's the more we're addicted to material stuff, the more depressed we'll be, because the material stuff gets outdated eventually. Like you've got this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. I think the new Note 20 or whatever's already out. I don't even know. But,
that's it.
For some people, that would cause anxiety because
fuck, I need it.
Yeah, my colleagues are judging me. My phone's 6 months old. That's a sign I'm failing. You've got to have the latest stuff. Go to work in a bike shop. Go to the latest bike. And if you're quite in that rut, you're always going to be depressed because eventually your bike or your phone or your house or your whatever's going to be outdated, and then you've got to upgrade to stay in the rat race. So once you leave the rat race, to win the rat race, you have to leave the rat race.
That's it.
And you've won
because the rat race is depression. As soon as you put
designed to keep you running.
As soon as you put your happiness in the hands of material goods and items, then you are going to be depressed 100% of the time, because happiness isn't in a thing or a place. Happiness is here. It's a choice right now. The happiness is in you.
It's a choice.
It's your choice. It's not in anybody or anything else.
So when we rely on other people for happiness, then that's when we're going to get hurt. Because
or think like material items. Like people say, oh, I'll be happy once I get the makeup palette, once I get the car, the phone, once I get my lips filled, once I get my tits done.
That'll be temporary.
It'll be temporary, but I saw on TikTok actually, TikTok is like depressed eating disorder nation.
Yeah.
And there was this girl with her big lip fillers that looked like a dog's asshole. And she says, she had this song playing, and in the caption she writes, when the joy of having lip fillers starts to wear off. And she was just like staring at the camera, looking a bit soulless and down.
Unless she's being honest.
Unless she was being honest. Like she was putting herself out there and making a joke of it, and then all these other girls were commenting saying, lol, can relate so hard. Yeah, this is me, lol, but I just got them filled again.
Sad. Generally, if a girl injects her face, she's quite depressed as a person. She's relying on exteriors for happiness, and doesn't make her a bad person, but it's a red flag that that person needs some inner healing work and to put less emphasis on aesthetics. We all want to look good and feel sexy and attractive and have attention from the opposite sex or same sex or whatever you're into, but
I'm into you, baby.
Yeah, baby. But if your happiness hinges on approval, then your happiness will be crushed by the rejection. Your happiness should just come from within, that you're alive. Happiness is a choice in the moment. Happiness is best shared. Don't put happiness hinged on money, success, aesthetics, athletic performance, cars, houses, how many people you're banging in 1 week. You're gonna be crushed, man. Happiness is a choice in the moment. Let your happiness drive you to do good in the planet, do good in the world, and help other people, and help the animals, etc.
Yeah. So I haven't been to America, but I don't even have to go there to see the level of depression, because you
see it on TikTok, you see it on social
media. You just
media.
open TikTok, people talking about their eating disorders, their Adderall, Ritalin addictions, caffeine, depression, anxiety, and they're trying to make it all like romantic and funny and stuff, but fuck, they're suffering.
It's sad. And I've got nothing against people using stims. I use stims occasionally to maybe get a PR or just a few seconds off a climb or whatever. But if you're using stims every day, that's an issue, man. That's not healthy for your body. You want to use stims to just get you up to that extra couple %. If you're using stims to wake you up, that is very, very unhealthy. I'll never use stims on a daily basis consistently, because it's just going to dig a big hole for you to jump out of. And it's really bad. When I use stims, I premeditate it. I go to bed earlier, make sure my carbs and water are good the day beforehand, and then I use a little bit, just a little bit. That gives me a big boost. Yeah. Because I rarely use them. So I never respect stimulants. Respect the coffee, respect the caffeine, respect the Ritalin, Adderall, or whatever you're using. Respect them, man, because using them every day,
they'll bite you in the ass.
They'll crush your aesthetics. They'll crush your mood. And mood's the worst thing to be crushed, chemically speaking.
Do you think consistent exercise is vital for sustained happiness?
It definitely helps because I don't like to call it exercise. I like to call it just moving your body,
Movement and
getting stuff
adventure.
done.
Getting shit done.
Gardening, picking up trash, going to the recycling bin, just moving, riding your bike to the shops, just moving your body. For me, it definitely makes it easy to feel happy when you've got a healthier body, for sure. But still, happiness is a choice. Because whatever you focus on is how you feel. So if you're focusing on the haters or some crazy person or some crazy parent or crazy ex or whatever, then you're not really going to have a good experience in that present moment. If you're focusing on, wow, I've got fresh air, or I've got this, or I've got that, or I've got 5 minutes away from the kids to go and do this, then your focus is going to be a lot better and you're going to feel a lot better. So what you focus on is how you feel. What you focus on is how you feel. So if you want to feel shit, focus on this shit.
And what would be your advice? Because sometimes when you feel like shit, it can be hard to come out of that for some people because there's this like overwhelming feeling of sadness. What would be your number one tip for that?
Mood follows action. Mood follows action. No matter how bad I feel, if I just start to move or breathe or shift my focus, I will feel better. But there's something about moving it. So just change. If I sit on the sofa too long, it's like I like it in front of the camera, but I don't work behind on the sofa because it's like, I need a cabin fever. I like to sit on a football and bounce around and move.
And
so moving is makes you feel better for sure.
And how long should you be moving for? Because what if you stop and then you feel like shit again?
Oh, that's really rare. I'll use the example of bicycle touring. Like this Tuesday, we're going on a bike tour to do the Mawson Trail. And get her up here. Get a little one. The cat just joined us here.
Come on, little Fifi's.
She's running away. She's not trolling. Go grab her. Grab that little pussy. I would say that bike touring, you wake up in the morning, you might feel a bit like, but once you get moving, you'll feel good. You'll feel good to get the blood flowing. Especially after day 3 or day 4, you really start getting the mood of things, getting the flow of things.
I think Fifi B's been at Nana's.
Oh, Nana's, push it.
Oh, gosh.
Look at that little chin.
Where did Nana's go?
A little close up to the viewers, the camera here.
This is Fifi. She's been eating at Nana's.
She's born under the back.
Look at her. She's licking her chops.
Licking her little
She's
chops.
I don't give you permission to put this light in my face. I'm not even going to look at the camera.
A little face. So yeah, that's the deal there. Is just get moving, and then it just becomes a habit. Becomes a habit. The hardest step often can be the first step out of bed, especially if it's early in the morning. Go to bed earlier as well, and then when I go to bed early, you just jump itching to get out of bed.
And what's your tips for people who can't sleep early no matter how long they lie in bed?
So you're getting rest, and that's what matters more. Rest is more important than sleep. Right? Rest is definitely more important than sleep. If you're getting rest, if you can't sleep, you can't sleep. Just get rest. Or if you're on a bike tour, keep riding.
And what if you feel like your brain's sending you mad because you can't fall asleep and it's been 5 hours?
Well, then you're probably overthinking things, and you're probably like getting a little bit, and maybe you didn't have enough carbohydrate. If you can't sleep after 5 hours, you probably need enough carbs. You probably had some stims, and you're, the first night might be a bit rough for you. But put it in context, it's just first world problems. All this little pussy here.
A Fifi B is having a nap after her feed.
She's having a nap, staying warm. It's winter here in Australia. July, this time last year we were in Thailand. Will we make Thailand this year? Maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. I've been to Thailand every year since 2005. That's 15 years. 15 years. Wow. Good place to be.
Why won't Vegan Gains debate you?
Vegan Gains won't debate me because same reason a lot of people won't debate me. They don't want to get owned on live stream. And I don't blame them, If I was Vegan Gains, I wouldn't debate me on live stream because you'd get flogged. You'd get flogged. Virgin Gains would lose his virginity on live stream, would
he isn't looking very well at the moment.
No hate to Richard.
No hate to Richard. I think
he looks ill.
I think he looks depressed.
He's a young guy.
How old is he?
I don't know, like 20 something.
Oh shit! I thought it was 30.
He does look sad.
I think he looks depressed, and I feel like he's got a war in his mind every day.
And as much as he wanted to try and trash the heck out of me those few years after me helping him out, I only ever helped Richard out, But seeing him wanting to try and take me down and slandering me and calling me all sorts of things,
hurt people want to hurt
exactly.
people.
So I don't
And
think
damage people want to damage people.
Yeah.
So, how personal can you take it?
No.
Because, he's
not in a good spot.
He's struggling.
Yeah, so that's me.
But in that being said, that's not an excuse for him to talk shit about you, especially for everything that you've done for him.
He's just he's a damaged person. Hurt people. Damaged people want to damage others. Yeah. And it's difference between criticism and genuine, slander and hatred.
Oh yeah, there is a fine line, and the line does get crossed.
So no hate to Richard. I make jokes and stuff, but it's just banter.
We've got a
super chat. Cure of cancer, Dr. If you did a regular live stream, it would build your channel to a high level. Yeah, I agree. I should do more. Appreciate the support.
Thoughts on dark chocolate and how's Harley's libido? Benny has you walking like John Wayne.
How is my libido, Natasha? How's the length and girth of libido? Satisfactory?
Yes, it's satisfactory, and it's high. What would you like me to say?
High and hard. So I'd say that dark chocolate can be, it can be a trigger for a lot of people because it does contain theobromine, which is similar to caffeine. So I would say if you're going to have dark chocolate, you have it. If you're getting any anxiety from it, you know the cause. If you're getting anxiety and depression and you're having caffeine, Ritalin, chocolate, then you know the cause. Those three things. All one of those three things. Cut them out. Cut them right back.
I think your advice on sugar is not very pointed. What about calories in, calories out? Fat is not your enemy. If you were in a calorie deficit, you would not gain weight regardless of macros.
Yeah, okay. This is what people forget. Everyone talks about CCO, CICO, calories in, calories out. Kiko. But they don't talk about hormones.
That's right.
Like, people think that losing weight is just calories in, calories out. Yeah, okay, but what happens afterwards? What happens when you go back to your normal lifestyle and nutrition? Now you've got what's called...
Because what? Are you supposed to live in a deficit your whole damn life?
No, you just starve yourself down till you go away. And then magically you just stay there.
And then you just stay there.
No, you don't. Look at vegan gains.
Post-starvation, hyperphagia, and obesity.
Yeah. Look at vegan gains. I'm not using vegan gains to hey, look at vegan. No, I'm just using it. Look at Virgin Gains.
Or look
how lean he used to be. Shredded, man. And now look at him. All right? Because he used calories in, calories out. Durianrider's advice is wrong.
And there's millions that experience this. Just look at all the fitness chicks.
Stephanie Buttermore.
Steph Buttermore, all of them.
Great example, man. So
post-starvation hyperphagia, which is the desire to eat. It's the binge eating, excessive hunger because you've starved yourself.
And you don't have control over what you're eating because you're just so hungry.
And the thing is, you can be in a calorie deficit, but if we put certain hormones into you, you will gain weight.
Look at me when I use testosterone. It's instantly noticeable. Wow, Harley, you look healthy.
Wow, Harley,
gain weight.
Wow, you've become a man.
I'm a man.
You're very manly.
Down
there
too. So it's like my calories didn't change, but my hormones changed. All right. So and my voice changed permanently. Okay. So even if I'm not using them anymore, the voice changes permanently. So there's things. Hormones determine it. All right. It's not calories, man. Calories are important, but hormones are the most important.
Hormones number one, and what you eat influences your hormones.
And look at Greg Douchet, man. Look how his wife is bigger than him.
Yeah.
And she hasn't taken steroids.
And
so
he's
calories in, calories out.
She is dieting.
Yeah, dieting all the time. Yo. Like, look at all these people out there who use calories in, calories out. They always rebound over the long term. In the meantime, their mood is crap.
We were talking about this a few weeks ago. Okay, in theory, it makes sense. And on paper, okay, it makes sense. But in real life, it doesn't work. And it's not sustainable.
You rebound, bro.
You always rebound. No animal in nature calorie restricts.
No.
And just wanted to say...
You got to eat low fat and eat as much calories as you want. If you want to have 50,000 calories a day, you need 50,000. If you can eat 50,000 calories of carbs in a day, which no one can, but if you could, you needed that.
You need it.
Right? If all you can eat is 2,000 calories a day of carbs, then that's what you need. If you need 10,000, you need 10. Right? Your body will decide how much carbs you need. So if you walk past pizza and there's like all this pizza, like low fat vegan pizza, any fat on it, and you're like, that looks so good. and you can eat 5 of those pizzas, you need 5 pizzas.
You need it. But if those pizzas were fatty, you
Then
get
you
a
got- then
whole
it's all that
shit
fat.
ton of fat grams.
It's all that fat oil.
Because fat does not satisfy the appetite like carbohydrate. Until you get the simple sugars and the carbohydrates, you're not going to be satisfied. Which is why people on keto diets, even though they've had their calorie quota for the day, they very often lie there at night thinking about
Food.
sweet donuts, and cupcakes, and soft drinks.
Watching MasterChef or watching food stuff, reading through food books and magazines.
And yeah.
So calories in, calories out does not mean zip really, because it doesn't factor in life quality, right? And this always gets me all razzled up and riled up. It doesn't factor in your life quality. People on a diet suffer. When they're starving themselves, they suffer. Their mood is crap. They're on fentanyl. They're on caffeine and all sorts of stuff.
Adderall, then they're on alcohol. So who we got the super chat from?
Another super chat. Thank you
Cure
very
for
much.
Cancer. They said that they started watching your videos several years ago and you inspired them to start 2 websites, cureforcancer.co and fruitsandvegetableonly.com. Awesome.
Suss it out. Fruitsandvegetableonly.com sounds to be a little bit sexual, but we'll suss it out.
Fruits and vegetables only fans.
Suss it out. Thank you for the support.
How much protein, says Matt Broisius?
Depends. What's your goal?
Depends on your goal.
What's your goal? I don't know what your goal is. So it's like saying.
It's too broad.
It's like saying,
more context.
Harley, how much money, bro? And I'm like, for what? What's your goal? Yeah. What's your goal? So it's like, how much carbohydrate? Enough. How much protein? Enough. How much money? Enough. Like, what do you want to do?
How much fat?
What do you want to do? How much sleep do you need? Enough.
Enough.
Yeah, I remember Doug Graham talking about that back in the days. It's like the enough theory. It's like, how much do you need? Enough. How long should you have a shower for? Enough. I mean, obviously you want to be water wise, but it's those things. Yeah, how much do you need? Enough. So, but to answer the enough question, what are you trying to do? What's your goal? What's your goal?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great way to answer it. Enough. You need enough. How much money do you need? What do you want to do? Yeah, how much money do you need? Do you want to buy a loaf of bread or do you want to buy a Ferrari? Like, you give me more detail, I'll give you more detailed answer.
More detail.
Context. Context is everything. Context is everything in life, right? Context is so much. Like, whenever you hear a claim by someone,
look for the context.
Look for the context. It could be, this is the best bike in the world. Okay, context. That person sells it. It's bullshit. Blah blah blah. Maybe it is. That context is, this person raped me. Okay, they touched on the shoulder. Or you had sex with them, and afterwards you regretted it. Okay, that's not rape. Or context is, I got ripped off, meaning, you paid too much, or someone stole money from your pocket when you walk out of the shop. So there's always ask for context. Calories in, calories out. What's the context there? Does that factor in your hormones, your rebound later on, your mood, etc.?
But for many people, context is too much because then eventually the truth will have to surface, but they want to stay in the wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Oh, this supplement. Oh, this program. Oh, this. Where context does not exist.
Yeah. And
that's where the money is really.
Yeah, context is
not having context is like.
Causes a lot of pain for people.
It's like a marketing dream because it's like, get this, get that, just take this.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah, like Specialized with its bikes. I'll bring up the Specialized because they're flavour of the month right now. My little campaign, but they say air is everything, but then the bike's super heavy. It's like air is not everything, bro. Weight's everything. Yeah. I'd rather have a 7 kilo bike than a 9 kilo aero bike, and so would every single pro rider who's being honest. 100%.
What are your true thoughts on alcohol?
Natasha, you want to answer this, or do you want me to answer this?
Well,
she's an alcoholic.
Well,
you probably had a bottle of alcohol, like a bottle of spirits in the last 2 years, maybe, or a year.
Yeah.
Yep. A bottle.
Yep. A bottle of spirits. Okay, so
I need a bottle of vodka to get through this life.
Yeah, fuck.
Okay. On the drip.
When in context, are we talking about like you having?
I don't drink alcohol.
Are you having a drink on a special occasion, or are you having a drink every day? Are you having a drink every day because you want to escape reality and you hate your life? People use alcohol as an escape because they hate their lives or they're getting insufficient carbohydrates, and then once they consume that alcohol, they're getting sugar with that, so they get a feel good. feeling. But okay, alcohol is a poison.
Yeah.
And alcohol in excess will 100% lower your vibration and
Life quality.
your life quality, and just I believe alcohol, you lose sense of self and who you are, and
It's a sometimes drug.
it's a sometimes
But
drug.
personally, I don't drink it. I've sipped it, like I've not even sipped it. I've like tasted it. Like,
You put like a drop on your lip.
yeah, like Tasha's had a drink, and I'm like, let me sort of just taste what that.
Let us dab on my lip.
And I was like, I don't like that. Yeah, don't like the flavour.
Yeah. So
I don't miss it a bit. I
Yeah.
don't miss it a bit. I'm drunk since 2001, July 2001.
Yeah.
Bastille Day. Yeah, so it depends. It depends what your goals are. If you drink now and then, I don't see an issue with it. For me, I don't like how I feel when I'm drunk. I start street fights. I'm quite violent and aggressive. And I start picking up tables and throwing at people.
Ooh, okay.
It's just kidding. But no, I just, for me, alcohol doesn't suit my personality, so I just don't drink.
Well,
But
yeah,
I enjoy.
I drink.
I enjoy
Really?
enjoy just drinking water and soft drink, and just enjoy being fully present and taking advantage of you when you're drunk.
Oh, good.
Next question. What's it? What else? Super chat.
Yeah. From
Pepe the Frog.
Peppy the Frog. It's hard to do bananas and dates for more than 3 days. By the end of the week, I crave Carl's Jr. Beyond Barbecue, which is fatty. How do I stop the cravings?
Have some vegan burgers, bro. Like have some.
Have some
rice.
variety.
Have
rice.
rice.
Have potatoes. Have some Beyond Burgers.
Yeah, bananas and dates are great, but they're breakfast foods.
They're breakfast
Yeah,
foods, man.
they're snack foods. They're not going to be your meal, dinner food for most people. I mean, I could have a meal of bananas and dates for dinner, but the average person, I'd recommend have your rice, man. Have some salsa on there. Have a bit of beans with the rice. Like
Have some Mexican beans. Have some Indian beans. Have some curry.
And if you do want a burger, I think Carl's Jr. do vegan options. Yeah,
Or just, if you're in America, go to Burger King and get a freaking Impossible
there you
Whopper
go.
or two.
You can have your burger and fries, man. Like, to make a better option.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, if there's no way I could do just bananas and dates. Those are the last things that I want for dinner because I've already got my sweet fix in.
Yeah.
But I guess
If they're good bananas and dates, I'll have them for dinner for sure. They're like, some of the bananas I've had, I'll eat them for dinner.
For sure. But who has access to that?
Exactly. So
Year round.
in the real world, because I think Taco Bell have vegan options.
For sure.
Wendy's do.
Literally, you can make
KFC
Italian.
in the USA
You can
has
make Italian,
vegan options.
Mexican, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai. How about make a delicious curry? All you need is a curry paste, some veggies, and coconut milk.
Why are you trying to eat just bananas and dates? They're great foods, but like
There's thousands of
they're
plants,
breakfast foods,
thousands
breakfast
of
and lunch.
combinations, all different starches. Literally, you can have a different meal every day.
Especially on the start of the lifestyle, like you need a bit more, normal foods that you used to, just to help you like get into. For some people just go, I'm just doing this and that's it. Okay, great. That was sort of me. But for some people, they like those foods they're familiar with. So just if you veganize those, and that's my first step, people is go vegan, and then you can find out what vegan foods you like, and you'll find that fruit for breakfast and fruit for lunch gives you that light feeling, and you're still satiated, have as much as you want. And then for dinner, some starches, quinoa or millet or ugali or corn or potatoes or whatever, or mix it, all of them, as much as you want. And then that gives you that solidarity at the end of the day, just helps you tune out and sleep, go to bed early and get that recharge going on there. So that's what I find. And if I want a burger, I'll go and have a Rebel Whopper. I have those now and then, but not like
I mean, to be fair, the Rebel Whopper is pretty light.
It is pretty light, yeah.
In terms of
I
like,
have Rebel
fat
Whoppers,
content. Yeah, we just have a comment from Fran here.
Fran.
She's telling us that neither of us are qualified to give advice. Well, Fran, where are your results?
Yo, Fran, where's your results? Yo, gangster. Where's your results, Fran?
Where are your clients? Where are your testimonials?
The testimonials are the biggest one. Clients don't mean much. They don't get clients, but testimonials, like real testimonials, that's the biggest difference.
If you want to see a whole reel of testimonials, go to my Instagram, my story highlights.
Well, my Instagram.
It's written there, and Harley's new Instagram, durianrider.pragmabytes.
Thank you.
We've got testimonial after testimonial. We've
Real
got
great.
real people, real results, men and women, all different ages, from 18 years old to 68 years old, all different fitness levels.
That's a good qualifier question. Where are you're not qualified? That's a good qualifier question. Get us qualified to you. But yeah, and I often put my testimonial people on private just because I don't want my stalkers like harassing them, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because some people are fine with having their profile picture and testimonial,
some people aren't,
but some aren't, and that's totally fine.
Yeah. If people are happy with it, they just send me and post my name. Otherwise, I just trim the name out just as a safety precaution because I don't want my stalker, sending them a freaking barrage of hate speech or whatever. So that's that to me, but not to them.
And we've got to continue on from the Kiko.
Kiko.
Calories in and out is exactly what you two are doing. You don't eat enough to gain weight. In combination with your metabolisms and exercise, your stable hormones are from above, plus psychological factors.
Well, that means if we weren't eating enough, we'd be like, based on the calories in, calories out model, we'd be getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, which we don't. We at a set point. When I use steroids, my weight goes up. When I don't, my weight goes back to normal, natural levels.
I've had the same weight for so many years.
Yeah.
I mean,
not that we weigh ourselves, but we can just based on how our clothes fit us.
See how my clothes fit. Like these leggings that I'm wearing, I've had since like year 9 in 2012, and they've stretched out in the bum, but they still fit.
Yeah.
But so just being realistic here, if I was doing calories in, calories out, I wouldn't be able to sit here and do this live stream because I'd be tired and moody and have no motivation to want to do it. I wouldn't be able to provide for you guys. And
there's a difference between, like I'm really relaxed now and chill, but I can still perform. And there's a difference between being able to do something and not being doing something. There's a difference between doing something and actually not doing it. Like people say, I can do that. It's like, well, go and do it then. Oh, well, I'm not going to, so yeah.
We haven't heard back from Fran. Where you at?
Fran left the chat.
Where you at, Franola? Oh, Fran is mad.
Yeah, but see,
has Fran left the chat?
Fran's left the chat. Fran's undercover. Fran's going to get some rice and fruit. Here's the thing as well, is like, look how many people on social media promote that calories in, calories out thing, and most of them on anabolic steroids, which is fine, but they're lying about it, which is not fine. It's fraud. When you're selling people ebooks and they're thinking they're going to get your results, like Matt Does Fitness or Jeff Calavia, Athlete X, etc. The fake weights, it's BS. So you're going to some people just want to be scammed. I guess some people want to be scammed. They want to believe calories in, calories out, so they can eat their KFC chicken and go, if I just eat a little bit, I'll be all right. And you're sort of willed to a degree, but you're still doing damage to your health and you're doing damage to the animals and the environment. And so if all you care about is weight loss, then you're going to be pretty empty inside, because all you care about is your aesthetic. You don't care about the animals, you don't care about the environment, you don't care about this or that. All you care about is like numbers on the scale or whatever. Then you're just a shallow, fake person who's going to have a lot of depression in life. And we've all been there at some point. But my call to action is for people to have some purpose in life and have some integrity and go, hang on, the world's pretty messed up right now. Increasingly messed up. It's time to do stuff for the better for the planet, with the animals, etc., and the environment and the air quality. Like ride your bike, drive less, ride more, eat more plants, leave the animals alone, blah blah blah. That's
but look at the average Aussie Joe.
Average Aussie Joe is overweight and obese.
Overweight, obese, high blood pressure.
They follow calories in, calories out model. I should eat less. I don't say I should eat right.
Oh, I should do meal replacement shakes. Okay.
Yeah.
But that'll work a long time.
And then when they say I should eat right, eating right is very subjective. I've got to cut the carbs down. Got to increase my protein, increase my healthy fats. I'm obese. I don't need enough fat. I need more fat. Next question. There's a little sleeping cat here. A little boxy puss.
Alright, here you go. You ever hear from that Fat Joe cat, or thoughts on Ellen Fisher? They eat animals for sure, eh?
Ellen Fisher?
Who's Fat Joe?
Joe Beast?
Fat Joe cat.
Fat Joe cat. I don't know who Fat Joe cat is. I'm assuming that's Joe Beast. Ellen Fisher. Pretty sure she's a vegan.
You don't hear from Joe Beast?
No.
Okay.
Is that another super chat?
Yeah, another super chat from Cure for Cancer.
What's your previous super chat?
The 5. Oh, here we go.
We missed it. So, I'm training now as an athlete on fruits, vegetables, rice, corn, beans, potatoes only. It'd be great to do some collaborative work. For sure, man. I'd also add in, if you want me on your podcast, just DM me. If people are going to do a podcast with me, just DM me. I'll jump on your podcast. I would add in sugar as well to your diet. I would add in some sugar as well. So that way you always get your muscle glycogen. Refined sugar to your smoothies, boom, next level. Next level. You just when you increase your sucrose content, your body's increased to do workload increases. As simple as that. So keep eating your potatoes and your corn and your fruit and all the good stuff, but add in more sucrose and refined sugar, and then bang. Because there's only so much food you can sort of digest, and most of the fruit today is insufficient in sucrose, in my strong opinion and experience.
Sure.
So if you add in the sucrose that should be there, because fruit's picked so green, then you're going to increase that sucrose, and when your sucrose is up, man, your workload could go heaps more.
We've got a comment here. Let's see Nat at 40 and see how much weight she has on her. Sure.
Well, you're going to wait 18 years. You know, like how you're gonna be 60 by now, or 80, like let's wait till she's 40. Let's fast forward. Let's use Banana Girl as an example, who's living in Cape Tribulation, far north Queensland up there.
Jungle Girl. Yeah,
in the jungle, which is a few hundred meters from the IGA supermarket. Wouldn't call it the jungle. It's a paradise up there, but it's not off. I mean, it's not the jungle.
Fueled on a generator, but
it's off grid because there's no electricity up there. It's not a choice, not choosing to be off grid. But yeah. Their friend is 40. Zero. And
she's very lean.
Very slim. Just slim.
Apparently Abdullah is attempting a 24-hour record.
I reckon he can do
it. Do you know what the record is?
I think the record is going to be tough, because there's so many variables, you know. I think the best way to do the record would be on a velodrome. Because if you're using an open course, you get crosswinds, and it's if you're using deep dish wheels,
you know, advantage, or you get knocked off.
Someone sent me a picture the other day. He was on a TT bike or a triathlon bike with deep dish wheels, and that's the worst thing to use for the 24-hour record, because if it's windy, it's going to be very dangerous, because you'll be you'll be in the TT bars and the gust of wind will just take your front wheel out, or just give you a bit of an adrenaline rush because you almost crash. So I think Abdullah can do it. You know, he's not scared of taking stims, and he's not scared of really pushing himself. So I think you got the recipe to take stims plus push yourself, plus he just smashes in the carbs and the sugar.
Which
I definitely think he could do it. Yeah. He's got one day. He's definitely he's another example of the durianrider template. You know, taking it on board, adding his own personal twist with the stims, etc., and just crushing it, man. The dude crushes it. So I reckon he can definitely do it.
I don't think little baby recognises you in your blonde curly wig. We've got another super chat here with a message. I'm 32 and my GF is 22. Together for 1.5 years. I've invested a lot of time and energy into her, but now she just drains me constantly, arguing. Should I let go?
We will both answer this. What do you think?
You go first.
All right. He's 32.
And she's 20.
She's 22. I would say, let it go or keep going. Depends, you know, if you have more pros than negs, every relationship has ups and downs. You're going to have, times where you're I'm just so sick of this person. You have times where I'm I love this person a lot, can't imagine life without him. So if you're getting more of this negs versus this, then, if it's 10-90, then it's okay. As soon as it starts to become 10-90 in the bad sense, you're okay, it's see you later. If you just hang out for sex, then just cut them off.
Yeah. I think
if you could never have sex with them ever again and you still want to be around them, then that's a good thing. If the sex is holding you together, then it's mate, just move out, we'll be fuck buddies and leave it at that. Yeah. Sometimes you can't live with people because they're not compatible.
Who never wants to have sex again?
Well, hypothetically though, some people relationship, the only thing they care about is the sex.
Yeah. Well.
For a lot of guys, they get in a relationship to end a period of sexual starvation.
For sure. It's about
sex. Yeah, if it's just, I've been with girls and it's just only been sex, and they're not bad girls, but I don't want anything more from them than sex that night or that week. I mean, it's you can go home now. It's not because they were bad people. It's just because I didn't gel with their personality. I didn't find them a good fit. So you got to, if it's a living partner or somebody you spend a lot of time with, it has to be a perfect fit. And if it's not, then you got to say, let's just be friends. And I would let her break up with you. And it's bad to break up with a woman.
But you did that twice, 3 times.
Yeah, but it's going to be bad mistakes. Let them break up with you. because in that way they feel in control and don't feel rejected. If a woman rejected, you on some get some deep water there. So that's my tip there. Let her break up with you by being bitter, being insecure,
Well,
being unmotivated.
that's if you truly think you should break up.
Yeah.
I think you should.
We've got to give all angles here.
I think you should sit down, both of you have paper and pen, and write down what you love about each other, then write down what you don't love about each other, write down your needs, and if you think they're being met, and write out what you think the issues are. You know, sometimes writing it out on paper is a good way to get it out and express it without the emotion of like looking at each other, you know, because that can swell up a lot of tension and frustration and anger, and especially if one starts talking over the other and you're just arguing, bickering, going back and forth. Just writing it down, then exchanging those pieces of paper, go into a separate room, read it, and I think analyze
punch
it.
The door, kick the wall,
the door, scream into the pillow,
get the knives
and just
out.
analyze it for a good 10 minutes and think about it, and then hopefully when things have simmered down a bit, then you can come and talk about it and go through each point and discuss it. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Because or else it's too much.
Yeah, we're going to give all the options here.
Yeah, you do this, you do that, you aren't doing this, you aren't doing that. But if you go through each point and then you can put a tick next to it and
write down what you both need from each other. There's a great book to read, a good PDF called The 5 Love Languages. That's a good start. Get a PDF for free online, do that test each, and then work out what's going on. Because you might not like her because she's nagging you, and she's nagging you because you ain't giving her any G-spot experiences, you know, or enough, or you've been slacking off, or maybe not listening to her as much, or she doesn't feel loved by you, so she's nagging you, and she's shit testing you, or maybe she just wants out as well. So you just got to communicate what you really want.
You got to communicate.
Maybe she's just, I'm done, I want out, I want you to tell me to fuck off so I can leave. So it depends, or maybe she's shit testing to see how much you really love her. You know, women are rarely frank with you. You know, play games and they'll be. It's all about Natasha. She's very frank and just upfront. So I appreciate that. It's very rare. You know, past relationships I've had, that always killed it for me. Is just they wouldn't tell you how they really feel or what's wrong. You know, and that's just like, well, if you don't know what's wrong, then how can you make amends or how can you make improvements?
But they know what's wrong. They won't say it though.
Yeah, fear of rejection or just want to keep the hope alive that one day maybe he'll just work it out. It's like, time's short, man. Life's short. Life's short and precious. Just tell people what you want. They can't deliver. You can set them free. Set them free. Respectfully and kindly. That's what I'll be doing. And I'll get a vasectomy. Because this chick might get pregnant and blame it on you. It might be your kid. It might be someone else's kid. It might be the milkman's kid. You know, so I'll say that all the time, man, over the years. Things get complicated. Kids make things complicated. Get a vasectomy and you're done. You're safer there. You both are. This is information that pretty much no one else is going to tell you.
Are you done with that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going back to carbs for a second now.
Alright, let's carb it up.
I agree with carb loading and glucose before effort, but not all carbs are the same. You can eat 3 times as much oats than white rice.
Yes.
Well, I'd say that's incorrect for me personally because oats are very high in fiber
And fat.
and protein and fat, and I can eat way more white rice than oats.
Yeah, and so I think someone left a comment like that before in my video. Yeah, I think he said
Not all carbs are the same.
you can eat 3 times as much oats than white rice. I can eat more white rice than oats. I find oats a bit stodgy and heavy.
That's what I just said. They're so filling because they are a whole grain.
And people are like, well, that's great. I can lose weight on that because I fill up and don't want to eat anymore. But then you can't do as much. You know? Like, for me, life's about doing things. It's not about collecting things, material stuff as much as doing things and raising the vibe and giving people unforgettable experiences. I always tell people, don't play hard to don't play hard to get. Be impossible to forget. Like this cat baby broiler one around here, crazy. She's unforgettable.
She's energized.
She's energized. So
and she's eating to her little heart's content.
yeah, so you want to be unforgettable. You don't want to be hard to get. People play hard to get. It's like, oh my god, like, what are you doing? Like, be unforgettable. Give. You know, and you're not going to do that if you're worrying about oats versus rice. Like, well, I like to eat rice, but oats is more sustaining because Dr. Gregor is, you know, like, I've done many videos about Dr. Gregor, and the dude's Dude's scamming people with his like non-profit stuff where it's got money goes straight in his bank and blah blah blah. His charities in his name, and he's creating all these people who are so undercarbed and orthorexic they can't even see the scams he's pulling from in front of them. Someone said the other day, "Wow, Dr. Greg is so amazing. He donates all his money to charity. His charity. You know, but if people are so undercarbed because they're eating 50% broccoli and on the plates, 50%
and then
brown
oats
rice,
with no added sugar,
like,
maybe a mashed date.
Durianrider and Natasha are really bad. Dr. Greg is a good guy.
Because the charity,
Dr. Greg is a good guy. He doesn't swear.
It all goes to charity.
Goes to charity. His charity.
Whose charity?
Alright, this is what we're trying to do is break people out of this crazy one. And I'm glad Greg is out there promoting, plants. But the program he promotes is unsustainable. It's orthorexic. And people are like, yeah, I love this because it's healthy. But no one's really doing it long term because it's so unsustainable. And look at him, he's got a little dad bod gut, which is fine, but he ain't in good shape.
He doesn't have fitness.
He hasn't got no glow. He puts on a fake energy because he's jacked on caffeine. He's jacked on caffeine. He's jacked on drugs. Dr. Greg is a caffeine addict. He's a drug addict. He
says it's okay to have 4 cups of tea and coffee a day.
Then you're a drug addict. I don't care what people say, like, oh, caffeine's not a drug. You're a drug addict, man.
It's a neurotoxin.
If you can't give up your coffee for a day, you're a drug addict. You're a coffee addict. Is it the same as a heroin addict? No. People say, but, it's healthy. It's a drug, man. You wouldn't give coffee to a baby. Sugar's not a drug. Sugar's a nutrient. Oh, sugar's a stimulant. No, it's a nutrient. There's sugar in breast milk. There's no caffeine in breast milk.
Your cells run on sugar. They don't run on caffeine. Right, we've got a comment from Sicilian cannoli and an espresso. Harley, should I fraud as a vegan to woo my vegan spiritual goddess? I'm pretty ugly, to be honest. So it's the only way. And I love salmon too much to actually go vegan. That sounds a bit woo-woo in itself.
be a fishitarian or whatever they call them. I think it's, I think if you're frauding people eventually find out, and then you'll be like, then you'll be black booked. So I'll just be yourself. Right? Don't fraud it. Don't fraud it. Just be who you are. Especially in a partner situation, if you're like saying you're a vegan and you're not, then it can get messy. Yeah, it can get messy. I would say she'll smell through your bullshit, and she'll think you're just a fake dude, and she'll be like, don't want to invest too much in this guy. She might invest you for a bit. Is there another super chat there?
Yeah.
There we go.
From John Smith. Do you think eating a raw till 4 diet prevents cancer, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and many other diseases?
I would say 100% prevent diabetes, cancer, heart disease. No. I'd say it's good for those things and preventing them, reversing them, reducing them rather.
I'd say it will reverse your high blood pressure.
Yeah, for sure. Blood pressure for sure. But what if you got heart disease from 30 years of eating meat and high fat and taking drugs and stress, and then you go vegan for 2 years, high carb, raw till 4, then you get a heart attack. Was it, what I mean? So
or what if you have an insane amount of stress in your life and a lot of toxic negativity, and it could give you cancer.
Yeah, I think it's going to prevent against cancer. I've got some sunspots on my ears, and maybe, who knows, maybe they'll become melanomas one day, or maybe they would have by now if I was eating all the meat and stuff I used to eat. So the only thing it's really going to be 100% on, I would say, is type 2 diabetes. Yeah, because that's just sugar metabolism issue. That's just easy to reverse. But these other things like heart disease, what if the arterial damage is too great? Like they'll improve, but I wouldn't say 100% like counted type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes 100%, but the other things, is definitely improvements. Definitely going to be the best way forward, but it's not going to be 100%. Nothing's 100% of those things, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw a question.
There's a lot of comments today. This is booming, man.
It is. There was a question about running here. Here we go. Right. Is there any safe way to run as a bigger guy? I'm 6'2", 230 down from 300 pounds. Keep getting shin splints and or stress fractures.
Don't run, man.
I cycle, but I want to run as well.
Don't run, bro. You're too big to run.
Too big to run.
If you're over 170, you're pushing it, man. As a runner, I wouldn't run until you're under 170. How tall is he?
6'2".
Yeah, so he'd be 170 down the track. I would just stick with walking, stick with cycling.
Walking and cycling.
Yeah. You could run uphill, walk down, but no, just running is just going to give you stress fractures, bro. 100%. Like, you're not going to be able to run that way. It's just going to, it's not possible to be a runner that heavy. You're just going to do yourself damage. Sick with cycling.
There's another super chat here. Do you know Frankie McDonald? Canadian.
Frankie McDonald, this is Pepe the Frog. Frankie McDonald is a Canadian meteorologist who's had a lot of energy because he's always dancing, but I don't think he carbs up. How does he get the energy? I mean, anyone can dance on camera. Anyone can pop a pill and dance for 30 minutes. Anyone can do that. What happens off camera? Everybody can turn it on. Everyone can turn on for camera, you know? But, yeah. It can be personality, it can be stims, it can be carbs. We don't know. I don't know Frankie McDonald's. I'm not spending time with him. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he eats.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of possibilities there. It's context. There's context. Freak Dog. Who do you think will win the Tour de France this year? Why? It will be someone from Team Sky because Team Sky wins Tour de France. So yeah, I'm 200 pounds and I don't ever want to be under 170. So does that mean I can never run? I would say you can run,
but you shouldn't.
You shouldn't, and you're going to be at risk of injury. Right?
Yeah.
You're going to be. I should say you're going to be at greater risk of injury.
You'll be at greater risk.
For sure. My point with the oats thing, you can eat more oats and be low cal and be full. Eat the same amount. Like a little bit more. If you're eating oats instead of rice because you're like trying to get less calories, your life quality is really fucking low, man.
You
so it is.
Fucked up the ass.
Yeah. Like you're gonna be. Yeah, life's gonna definitely not be as good for you. 100%.
Harley, maybe we should have oats with our curry instead.
Oh yeah, oats curry. Like I know a girl who eats oats in Adelaide. Cyclist chick.
She eats a lot of oats.
And she's always miserable. She had a little bit of maple syrup. I saw on YouTube, but she's always miserable. I've known her for about 5 years, and every time I see her out riding, she's got, in my opinion, she's got a clear eating disorder. I won't mention her name, but and she just looks miserable. And she's like, a little bit of oats and a little bit of maple syrup. She'll mash up a date. I saw a YouTube video something the other week, and it's like she's just miserable, right? Miserable. She has a bit of white rice for dinner, just a little bit. Just a miserable person to be around, and just a drama starter, bitter and pernicious, just miserable because she started. Before, when she was eating lots of sugar, she was sweet. She was a good person. She was sweet. As soon as she cut the sugar, got in the Gregor orthorexia program, started drinking coffee, she became miserable.
And I think
mega bitch.
I think she does matcha.
Yeah. So I know this person back in the day when they were on the sugar, and they were great. They were cool. They were funny. And then they cut the sugar, train a bit more, take stims, losing the weight because they're doing the sport and their fitness is going up and it's long-term low fat. But they're totally miserable, right? As people are, they lost weight because they cut sugar out. No, they lost weight because they're eating low fat long term, and there's post-starvation obesity eventually dissolve. That's good. So yeah. Fasting can cure diseases and eating raw, I disagree. Right now, I agree and I disagree. The fasting doesn't cure the disease. Fasting removes the lifestyle that's causing them. Mm-hmm. So you can fast, but then you go back to your thing. How about you just stop what you're doing that's causing the ill health? Right? Stop the relationship, stop the thoughts, stop the life choices that are causing the issue. I see people do a water fast and then they die in the water fast, right? Or shortly after. So it's like, don't recommend water fasting. Did John Smith...
Or even worse, dry fasting.
Yeah, my friend Robert Lockhart died last year, dry fast. So John Smith's super chat, fasting can cure diseases, and here where you're coming from, John, and this is sort of like what I used to believe 15 years ago, but it's not reality, man. It's not reality. But I appreciate the super chat. Fasting can cure diseases in order to afford. There's more context needed. There's more context needed there. So you want to have, the lifestyle change. That's the lifestyle change, the dietary changes, medication changes. That's what matters. That's what matters. Harley, are the carbon frames you sell available as a rim brake option? Yes, they are. Rim brake, road bike. Is there an MTB in the works? Yes, there's an MTB in the works. They are. Sex toys. I think, yeah, there's many options out there. But we're not getting age restricted in this video.
You're high on 5%.
Really? This cat, what are you doing here?
You're hungry.
Give her the biscuit.
I just get a biscuit.
She's licking a little cat slide on that. Cat worms.
You little baby cat. On mental.
But Harley, why are you vegan? For me, I don't see animals as food. And I just think I like plants, man. I like plants, and I think that the future is vegan, and I think that we're using animal products when we don't need to. We use animal products in so many things we don't need to use it in, like chocolate bars or whatever. They don't need to have milk in it. We can use soy powder or soy milk, etc. So for me, vegan for many reasons. Vegan for many reasons. We've got a question: carbon frame with 105 or alloy with Ultegra? It depends on the quality of the carbon frame. It depends on the quality of the alloy. I would say, Ultegra versus 105 doesn't mean much. The frame quality means the most. Frame quality means most. So yeah, we'll do 2 more questions. Where's the best place to get vegan cycling kit? I've got some at durianrider.com. Some small stuff left. Failing that, go check out locker.com.my.
Hong CT on Instagram.
Hong CT.
That's where my Florida pink jersey's from, and the white ones, the yellow ones. He also does the red and black now.
There you go. Any experience with sensor components? No. But I might have to try and get some. So yeah. How's the 5G in the Samsung? It goes good. I love the 5G. Love the 5G. But one more question.
That's in 3%.
Alright, one more question. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. It sure is. Jan Frenado is 6'4". He runs really fast. Jan Frenado is anorexic. You have to be anorexic. You have to be looking ill to be a fast runner as a guy. You have to. So yeah.
He's ultra lean.
Super skinny, man.
He's a stick figure.
Super skinny. How would you grow your YouTube in 2020? Same as always. Work. Push it out.
The more content, the better.
Some people just have a better genetic look or whatever, but the harder you work, the smarter you work, the bigger your channel will be. That's just reality, all right? No one can escape that reality. If you're good at 500 videos, you'll be better at 1,000. Simple as that. If you're good at 1,000 videos, you'll be better at 2,000. More is better. People disagree with me, but they're still going to be wrong. Let's see that. The frosty breath. It's so cold, isn't it? All right, one more question. Natasha, blink twice if you need help. So yeah, it's what else? Say hi, Brazil.
Hi.
Got a question here, Freely Banana Girl. What context? If you want your question answered, people, give context. Is decaf coffee okay?
No, it's very acidic on your gut.
There you go. Yeah. Okay for what? I would say you're going to say okay for health. No, it's acidic. And with that, we will leave the video, the live stream, and we'll be
yes, cat saliva is very tasty. I enjoy it on a regular basis.
Very good. Very good. If you got any questions about my bikes, Pragma, email me, durianriders@gmail.com. Okay, thanks for the support, gang.
Thanks, gang.
You could quit this one out. And we'll never how to stay fit over 30. That's a
Thanks.
video.